In the previous video, we built the design, we simulate it with software on the microblaze, and we saw in simulation the software running, and we saw it on the board with the microblaze CPU. Now, after the software ran on the microblaze, we tried to run it again with the Zynq, since the Zynq has its interrupt connection as well and should run accordingly. But it didn't. We need to understand why. For the first thing, we'll run this in debug mode and we'll see what went wrong. Now let's go over the software. First we define the TX and the RX buffers. We printf the initial statement, config and initialize the DMA and check for scatter gather, and now we're going into the setup interrupt system. Now going into this system, here we see our first clue. The code is under ifdef XPR interrupt device ID, and this is okay. Now if it's not okay, we see here that we have another code saying what if it's not. This parameter belongs to the interrupt controller added in our design. Here we added the interrupt controller, but the Zynq has a different interrupt controller. So since the software here recognized that we have an interrupt controller, we tried to configure this interrupt controller. But working with the Zynq, we want to work with the Zynq interrupt controller, which is not that. So for that, we need to tell the Zynq CPU that this is not active here. Now, for this, we will go over the code and we'll see that there's a lot of checking this interrupt. If we have this parameter, here we have it to add the appropriate H files to define our numbers, interrupt numbers, define the ID, and so on. There's a lot of it. So actually we need to change all the software so not to include the external interrupt controller, but to include the internal interrupt controller. Since we have only two options, instead of ifdef the interrupt controller, we change it to int not def interrupt controller, and so we switch to the original interrupt controller. We do this every time the interrupt controller is addressed. And we'll save this. Next, we have another problem, because building the system with the internal interrupt controller, the RX interrupt ID and the TX interrupt ID are referred to as XPR Fabric MDA, which is and this is looking back to our microblaze, to our external controller, because this is the way the software was built. So we need to address this specifically to the interrupt numbers IDs in the Zynq. So we'll go into the X parameters, and in the X parameters there's the XPS parameters included, which is the Zynq values. We'll go here, and here we see the two interrupts ID here for the FPGA int ID 0 and 1, which are the TX and the RX in our design. We'll take those names. We replace the ID numbers with the right ID numbers. Now, since we have the TX on 0 and the RX in 1, we change this to 1. And that's it. Now we go back to design. We clean our project so we won't have any leftovers from our previous project, and we'll build it again. We can close the file. And we'll try to run it. Run configuration. We'll reset the entire system. We'll program the FPGA again. And now the program runs successfully. When you're using example designs, they are very general. If they find anything that you have on your design, you should fit them to whatever design you really have. So you may have to pay attention if the design is as simple as can be, because Xilinx don't know your design. They didn't think I will put 2 CPUs in my design. So it's very important to look what happened and to understand what we need for this specific design and where should we look for it. And I wanted to show you the X parameters, and in the X parameter there's the X parameters PS, because the Zynq itself is also a SoC, is also a system on a chip. It's not only a CPU, it's have its interrupt controller, it's have a lot of other things that you can use in your design, especially in your software design. So that's it for this DMA interrupt software. I hope you find this video useful. Thank you and goodbye.